Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rob. Hope you're having a phenomenal trading day today. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you would please go ahead and type in the number 1 to let me know that you can. I would truly appreciate it. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy Monday. There you go, Jim. Morning, Helen. Brenda, how are you? Amos, it has been a great trading day today. Yep, that's what Ed said. Great day in the market. I cannot wait to get tonight into the E-mini think tank and go over the system that I released last week and talk about how it was used today. What are we looking at here? 3, 4, about 400 and it's over 400 points. 400 point move on the Dow. Each point is worth $5. So that's for each contract, it's a $2,000 move so far today. Yeah, Ed said looking forward to tonight. Me too. I'm excited for it. We'll go over it in our second half this evening. But for those of you that are not in the E-mini think tank, there is a 2-week trial that you can take advantage of. Come on in and hang out with us. So might be worth doing. Morning, Robert. How are you? How has your day been in the market so far today, Robert? Let's go ahead and go through a couple of housekeeping details here. So we've got the next Trading You is coming up the 12th, which is this Wednesday. Monster Market Movers on January 16th. We've got that next one set up. Power Hour, guys, you're going to see a change to the Power Hour page. You no longer will be able to register in advance for multiple weeks. We're only going to have 1 week at a time up there. So you will need to come back to register for it each week. It's just causing some havoc for us with our server. So we're changing it over and do it just for one week. So my web guy is working on it right now. It may not be done by next week. I'm not sure. I don't know how much trouble it is for him to do it, but just as an FYI, it's going to change and there won't even be a button to click on. It's going to say the next one is Monday the 15th of December, whatever the date is, and go ahead and click below. William, you know what? I've got some people that sign up 15 times for the same class. 15 times. Demetrius, yeah, it's I released it last week. So Demetrius' question was, did I hear you say you have a new trading system for the E-minis? I released it last week, and I went into, it's really been a 2-week series. We went into it 2 weeks ago, and then last week I tied some things together with a couple of additional indicators that we added and looking for a very specific system for entering into the trade. And tonight we'll go over the entry exit type methodology that I talked about last week, and how and where the entries can be taken for getting into the position. So and the exits. I mean, the system is pretty straightforward. You really don't have a whole lot of determining factors. In other words, whatever it is, right? There's very little that you can or are required to use your brain to figure out. The entry signal, there are 2 or 3 different things you can look for the entry. That's the hardest part of what it is. The exit is very simple. When the signal shows, when the mark prints on the screen, get out of the trade. That's it. Just get out of the trade. No ifs, no ands, no buts. Get out of the trade. Yeah, I understand, Rich, and to alleviate some of that, we're going to get rid of just having Rich is saying that can be confusing if you didn't get a registration email, and the emails don't send out immediately. Sometimes that's the problem. It's just a matter of how busy the server is with sending out emails. So if someone has got an email scheduled, or we have an email scheduled to go out, and someone else from another company even goes in there and they have to, and someone requests power out, and you're waiting in line for the server to free up for the 200,000 emails that we just sent out. So that's what that comes down to. We're going to put Rich on the back on the members page. We're working on putting Let me just go up here and log in. We're working on putting in a box on the members page that shows you what classes you're registered for, which will help. Again, it's a two-part system. It kind of ties it all together by doing it that way. So you'll know what you're registered for based on the link that you'll see on the side of your page. Right. So on the members page, we'll move down. We'll probably move down everything. We'll probably move premium memberships down, free memberships down, and put it on the top, and it'll show what workshops you're registered for. Right. So my web guy is working on that now. It is WordPress. You got to make it work. You got to write code for it and program it. So there are no plugins that just make that happen. So it definitely is all custom work, but you'll be able to see it. Morning, Linda. Good morning thus far. Excellent. Very good. Very, very, very good. Okay, so let me take you back over here. Have not gotten LinkedIn up there yet. Hoping to work on it this week. Just life has been crazy. Trading days like today make it hard to walk away. I mean, you get a day when each Dow point is $2,000. If you only did one contract, you needed $500 to do it. You're up $2,000. That's 400%. If you did 10 contracts, you're up $20,000. It makes your whole month for one day. So, and we've had what? We've had some days like this, haven't we? We've had some vicious movements in the market. I mean, this morning I'm watching CNBC and I'm like, oh, we're up, 10 points or whatever it was. And I'm giggling. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Okay. I know it was before I had gone off to the gym. So I don't know what it was, 6 o'clock or so, 6 a.m. maybe. And that whip in that market, and we'll go over a little bit of it today, but yeah, Rich, I'm heading back down by my dad next week. So same old for him. I mean, listen, the prognosis just isn't good, right? I mean, you smoke 4 packs of cigarettes for 50 years of your life, and here you are 70 years old and you're still smoking 2, with COPD, oxygen, is what it is, but I do appreciate you asking. But I'm going down to see him again next week. Linda said last week was awesome, made buku cash. Oh yeah, it was a good week. Yeah, I appreciate that, Marcus. Yeah, William, I'm gonna make it work. It's just Rich, I appreciate that. Yeah, for you keeping them in your prayers. I appreciate it very much. Deborah, you're right. Crazy whips can be hard to trade sometimes. That is why you need very defined, concise criteria as far as entering and exiting a trade. That is why you need that systematic approach. And those that trade off of their gut, that gut feel of, oh man, I think it's going up from here. That gut, it may give you an opinion, but that's all it is. That doesn't mean you trade off it because you have an opinion now. You really need to have a finite system of what to do. So Ravi said, Robert, where we see the SPX now, the low side, and it will bounce up. Is that a prediction, Ravi, or a question, or because if you're predicting it, you might be right. I just would like to know what your a question. Okay. So will it bounce from here? Well, here's the key, guys. Watch. All right. I'm going to zoom in on this. I'm going to put my mouse. Actually, let's not do it here. Let's go here. Let's go find the SPX. Let's go find a daily chart. And let's go ahead and look at the low. 25.8323. So let me write that down. 25.8323 is the low on the SPX, right? On the S&P 500. Now let's go back here. 25.8323. Okay. Does anybody know, anybody that's in POP, that's in power option plays, what price level have I been shouting at the top of my lungs for weeks? Weeks. Good. Quite a few of you got it. 2584. Guys, it is a Fibonacci number. So 2584. So if we do this, right? 2584 minus 2583.23. I missed that number by 77 cents. It's violated through that level today. 77 cents lower. I've been talking about it for weeks. We're going to hit the level. We have this very much strong confluence between 2603 and 2568. Let me just scrunch. 2568.77. Right? And we came down to the top of it, of that zone a couple of weeks ago. We came down to the top of the zone, but never to that black line. Yeah, William said it's amazing to watch. Oh, yeah, it's just friggin' phenomenal. And we nailed that sucker hard. Right? Now, it took a bounce off of there. So, Robbie, all of that to say, yes, I would not be surprised to see it bounce there because the bears drove it right down to where, and they don't know why. Most traders don't know why it stopped there. They have no clue. Guys, I say it all the time. Be careful who you listen to. Those that just out there saying, well, yeah, I think it's going to go to this level. Why? You know, I'm the type of person, if I watch a YouTube video, drives me nuts when someone's saying, I'm going to teach you how to do this, and all they do is talk about it and teach you nothing about how to do it, right? Here we're talking about the why. That is a Fibonacci number in the Fibonacci number series, okay? 2584 is number 18, 19, I forget where it is on the Fib line, right? What number is that? That's less important. But it is an actual Fibonacci number that we've been focused on, and if we look at the support we had back here. Look at the support we had back here. I'm not saying it's going to hit it exactly and go up from there, but Robbie, now we go back and look at those levels and look what's happened. Everything this year that's come down to that level has bounced this year. It's all bounced off of there. We've actually, let me see. We've closed below it what looks like 2 days. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Here we go. So we closed below it on April 2nd, and we closed below it on February 8th. All right? Other than that, this year, we have not been able to get down and stay down below it, and we barely closed below it. I mean, we squeaked. What was our close on this day? 25.81. And the close here, 25.81.88. So within a buck of each other below that line, you know, from the closing price, they missed each other by about $1. They got below the line by $4 or $5, $4 below there. That's it. That's it. So Robbie, do I expect to bounce from here? I expect that it's possible to bounce from here. Definitively, I don't have an answer yet. And I don't want to have an answer yet. What I'm looking at is what's more important to me, I guess, is where's the next move if it does go down, right? We've got this entire zone. So even breaking through here, Robbie, what we did not have before was this yellow box, this zone that we have right now. Violation of that, we're down in 25.68 to 24.81. What do we got here? About 102 points. 24.81, 25.81. So we don't even need to fib it. We're looking at 2,500 and 24.81 as the next two downside targets if we violate through this zone. And guys, this can be a precarious place to be over the next couple of days, right? We may get a bounce off of here, but then look at, I drew these lines in power option plays this weekend. Look at this short-term downtrend. We violated today. Now, the question is, will we close down here? We get back up inside of that downtrend, we're just there. It's just that, another downtrend. Because this line, that 25.84, is not one recently this year, the last 12 months, not one to be a place where there's a lot of hanging out going on down there. It seems to move and rock, move and rock. Linda said, so day trades only in the next couple of days. Well, and Linda, I guess it all depends on the position, but would it be bad to go to cash every night, not knowing like these types of whips that take place in there? Let's see. So you had this bearish day to the downside, this big bullish day to the upside. You had this bearish day down, the next day gaps up and runs up, right? To avoid some of that whip in there, possibly, right? Certainly shortening up reducing rather the number of contracts. If you're normally trading 10 contracts, go to 4 or 5, right? I mean, power option plays, my God, outside of some day trades, we haven't done 4s at all. And even on day trades, it might be a point for us to go to 4 contracts right now, just on certain companies, just based on the uncertainty in the market. And we've got some stocks that were bullish. We had 2 stocks on our list that were bullish today for today's trading. We had 1 neutral and everybody else was bearish. So overall, the bias is bearish. So taking the bearish trade is normally going to be a better solution than trying to trade against the market. Robbie said, Rob, you have the ABC on SPX. Can you please explain the 2587.29? Well, it's from just that, Robbie. You draw the ABC on the fibs, right? Which is the Fibonacci extensions. You draw it from where the Fibonacci started to where the Fibonacci ended. That's A to B. C is the highest high it had on that first retracement, preferably where it gets up near the 50 or the 618. And then it extends out 3 lines, 2, 3, 6. We took out the other ones that were in there, and then 100 because we did not have confluence with them. I'm only looking for the confluence. That's right, Robbie. So that was 100% of the Fibonacci move. Wherever you drew the Fibonacci's from, down to where the Fibonacci's finished, that's A to B. C is the retracement. And then it measures out the expected retracements or extensions rather, further down, right? So, and that 2587.59 level, Robbie, is a 100% extension, which means the move that took place in here, whatever that number is, I'm not going to be exact on it, guys, because I'm just going to drag whatever's here and move it. But in here, we're looking at that same 100-point move, that 100% move. Between the C and the 100, it's the equivalent of what the move was up above. You're welcome, Robbie. Absolutely. Anytime, sir. Anytime. Or actually, that may be one of the lessons or part of what we do tomorrow night in the Trading You is going back in there and focusing on some Fibonacci stuff. I said that part of what I wanted to do in there was a basic Fibonacci training. So, all right. It has been, when you look at the day itself, we're down 400 points on the Dow, another 37 on the S&P, 50 on the NASDAQ. When you look at the moves, right? When you look at moves from a bullish perspective, Avago moved to the upside, Facebook, AMBA, PANW, WIN. So we had a couple of majors on power option plays that moved up, right? Had a couple of majors that moved up. When we look at from a bearish standpoint, Booking is the biggest one that's down, and they're down $13. Google is down 5.5. Boeing is down 5.5. Baba is down 380. Valero, whew, I love it. I absolutely love it. What happened today, guys? I was so focused on. Oh yeah, I was so focused on the YM today that I never looked at crude at all. So wow, 51.60. All right, so we're moving down on oil prices still. Very nice. I like it. All right, so yeah, Amos, absolutely, we got to do one. We got to do. How can I do a trading class, a trading training, and not teach the basics of fibs, right? So Robbie said, when the Dow opened with a big move down, what do you do? Do you wait 5 to 10 minutes and then go to trade the overall market and trade that direction? Robbie, it all depends what the move is. Was it a gap? Was it a big gap down or up? Right? What's the dollar amount? What kind of levels was it near? That's just it. There is no one size fits all. There is none. And guys, I'll say this out loud and you take it how you choose, right? I know I did not give anybody a lot of opportunity to make a decision to get into the mastermind group that we're having, right? And we're only having 8 people in it, right? And guess what? Fibonacci number. There is an absolute reason for that number, okay? Was what we capped it at was 8 people. And it has 8. We've got 8 people scheduled in there, right? The whole goal there is to try to transform an individual as a trader throughout the course of that year by using a mastermind principle. Where, I'm sitting down by myself doing all this work and I get 100% of my output, right? Or one person's equivalent of the output. But as soon as I bring a team member on and we collaborate together, 1 + 1 is 11, not 2, right? You get a much greater output by having that second person because that other individual comes over with ideas, thoughts, questions that help everybody else. So, and yes, there will be work, there'll be homework, there will be prep work, especially when we get to the live classes in New York. But when we do offer it again, which won't be until 2020, when we do offer it again, hopefully you guys are able to take advantage of it. If you truly want to learn how to do it, I can help get you there. Much easier in a small environment where I've got you for 4 full days in my office and then 8 more times online. Private Facebook group, all of that stuff that we're setting up in there. By the way, I know there are quite a few of you in here that are in that. So we will be doing we will start scheduling. I'm going to have a conversation with Amelia one day this week, and we're going to start scheduling out the one-on-one meetings with me, which will release the January and the March event. Why January and March? March is live, so I want to give you some time to plan for it. January is online, right? So we'll release the first January event. I actually will release the event right after I do all of those. And the reason for it is I want to get some feedback from you guys on dates. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, prerequisite should be the Fibonacci course I have, William said. Yeah, it's a good course, William. We're going to go into the basics Wednesday night on it. But if you want to learn how to trade, Fibonacci's are definitely it. Like ES, yeah, ES is negative, just like the YM is, Robbie. But there are things, back to your question there, Robbie, there are things that require more than just a yes or no answer. Oh, it gapped down today, or it ran big down today, so I'm going to trade bearish. No. And the perfect example of that is, what are you doing now when it's sitting right at that key level? Right? That's a critical component. That's something that we'll sit down one night, probably do this in the online version of the mastermind group, and go through the components of, if you're trying to trade this intraday, what are you doing? If you're waiting until tomorrow, how do you trade this? There are some different rules to it of what we look for, but nothing is 100%. We just have higher probability of being right. Okay, let's see. Sorry, guys, just catching up on the questions there. Yep, Marcus said, believe that wholeheartedly 1 + 1 = 11. Yep, absolutely. Well, we had a vol go down as a bearish trade, Rich. Did you take it? You took it bearish or you took it bullish? Because I didn't look at a Vago this morning. I don't know if we got filled on it or not, based on what we did on Pop. Rich, we were bearish. Yeah, I'm looking at, I got my tracking sheet right here. Just writing a note. Bum, 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 bum. Today is the 10th. Rich, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this as part of what I do on Tuesday's video. All right, in Tuesday's video. I'll do a special segment on that, Rich. So I'll include that in there about the component of it because I think you just missed out on something on it. Yeah, I think you were a little too aggressive with it, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why in the video. All right. Let's see. All right, good. Trip's got big. Yeah, chomping on the bit, Trip said. I know, Trip. I'm looking forward to having you guys come to the New York office. Actually, you know what I'm really looking forward to? Me not being the one to travel. You guys getting to travel. I'm looking forward to that a lot. Just as an FYI, guys, as you're planning your trips, and I'll talk to you guys about this in the individuals and the one-on-ones, we finish the class out, which will be whatever it is, 4 or 5 at night, whatever we're going to end the day at. I think it's 5. If you're stuck that night and you're staying over, meaning you're not leaving until the next day, and I know some of you will be able to, you'll be getting out. You ever said I'm not traveling? So for you, it's either way, right, Rich? But for those of you that are sticking around, I will, if you guys want, I will make myself available for us to go out and have dinner. I didn't say I'm paying for dinner. I'm saying make myself available for all of us to have dinner. And we can continue that conversation while we're there. So, Vago was bearish, but the pullback to the 8. Yeah, Charles, it did. It had its pullback to the 8, but it really didn't. It did, but it didn't. All right. Let's see. William saying, can you double check Tesla? Tracker sheet said bullish, but it's bearish. Oh, did I mess it up? It's very possible. Oh, no, Tesla's bullish. Tesla, right? Oh, hold on. So the tracking sheet, guys, is Brenda's asking, what is the tracking sheet? I know some of you guys are kind of going off a little bit here. Where is that? What monitor did that just open up on? All right, guys, I'm going to just freeze the screen for a second. Bear with me a moment if you would. All right, good. Just so I can open this up. Yep, because I knew where it was going to open. All right. So, Brenda, this is the tracking sheet. This is an older one back in early November. Okay. This tracking sheet shows what the rules are or the notes are for our entries for this week, right? For the upcoming event, right? Or the upcoming trading days, right? So I went through and did one of these yesterday for today, right? Which is really for today, for tomorrow, until we get to our next recording, which is normally done on a Tuesday. Robbie, I'm going to leave the mastermind stuff for now until we get back to it again because I'm not offering it again. So we're really going to be getting into some very heavily related cash flow strategies in there. Oh, you guys are not seeing it. Why are you not seeing it? You should be. Okay. Thank you for telling me that. Don't know why. Yeah. Robert said it's cold where he is. Can I use a different phrase than freeze for the screen? I get it. I absolutely get it. So this is the sheet, Brendan. So as an example, it said on Amgen, we were bearish below 192. So we've got a rule. Put your order in. Buy to open this option contract. What option contract? 30 days plus away with a 65 or greater delta, 100 open interest. That's it. Simple as soup, right? Just easy as can be. Right? Put it in. And we've got things like pullback, bullish with a pullback to the 8. right? Manage our trade on Netflix, right? Take a day trade on Win, meaning we're in and out the same day. So this is the rules of, or the details. Brenda, this sheet is part of Power Option Plays. That's where it comes from. Leslie said Musk was on 60 Minutes last night. Came off pretty well, not too crazy. No marijuana? Nobody singing Truckin' from the Grateful Dead in the background or anything? Right? Or goodness gracious, who was it? I cannot remember the. Yeah. It's Grateful Dead driving that train high on cocaine. Casey Jones. That's it. Casey Jones was the name of the song. All right. No Casey Jones playing? Yeah, I like that song too, Rich. I grew up in that era. The numbers there are the targets. So it shows you where, who was asking that question? So I'm trying to catch them all, guys, as they're going by so quick. Marcus was asking, what are the numbers? So Marcus, on Amgen, it said get in below 192, right? At 192, or 189 and 185 are our two targets. So you already know where to set your exits up at. Yeah, and Leslie said, I wondered if the Tesla stock was going to be better today. So it backed off today with a 400-point move down on the Dow. I can understand that. It can only sustain so long. But overall, Leslie, in all of this bearish horror that we've dealt with, it's held up well. It's held up extremely well. So it's still in a bullish mode, right? From their earnings. The earnings propelled it. It did a little sideways move, and boom, just within the last month, took off again. No, Charles, yes, Charles, to some extent you did. So remember, Charles, let me do this on tomorrow night when I do the recording. All right, this will answer it on Avago. It's just, this is kind of that secret sauce stuff, guys, that you're in Power Option Plays for. So if you would allow me to do that tomorrow, Charles, and it'll be in the recording. And I will cover what pullback to the 8 actually means. And I'm going to use Avago as the example. Does that make sense, Charles? Cool. All right. We do not, Linda, we do not have any trials on Power Option Plays. Guys, I'll just make it real clear. We've got hundreds of people in there. I don't need to do trial. We're up 1.2 million. We hit our number already for the year. We're up 1.2 million in the last year. If you're interested, you could take it for a month. And then, of course, the quarterly is where the trial comes in with the quarterly one. Yeah, Linda said, order pop, guys. Great tips on that class. Yeah, it works. I don't know what else to say. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Got all the Casey Jones stuff out of the way. There we go. Was wondering about the word bullish on Tesla notes. It's a bullish trend, but pulling back. Yeah, and that's what we're talking about, Deborah. We're talking the bias. So the bias on Tesla is bullish. In other words, bias tells me only take a bullish trade on Tesla. Now, a day trade is different. Day trade is different. All right. But when we look at that tracking sheet on Amgen, we were in a bearish neutral bias, which tells me it was between the 8 and the 21 moving average, above the 8, below the 21. And the 192 would have been below the 8 moving average. So that would have been our entry into the trade. Our first target was 189. Our second target was 185. Right. So when it comes to Tesla right now is in a bullish bias. The stock is in a bullish bias, which means don't try to take a bearish trade. What you're trying to do is stand in front of a train and hope it hits the brakes before it hits you. We're only going to take this in bullish mode. Now, there is nothing wrong with having the position, meaning your position as an individual, as a trader, of I ain't trading nothing bullish when the S&P is bearish. Boom, boom, boom. Beautiful. I'm good with that. In Power Option Plays, we don't have that luxury. We don't have that luxury in power option plays. Power option plays requires us, the rules require us to take every trade that meets the criteria. Because if I don't, how would you know what ones to and not to take? Right? So we take every trade. We'll take, if we get a bounce on this tomorrow, we'll take a bullish trade on Tesla. Let's see. Pop works like Rolex. There you go, Roman. Rich said Pop. Okay, there you go. Pop's cost is $0 when you factor in the profit on the trades. Yeah, Rich, I remember you saying in the first 2 weeks you made 10 times your subscription. And it's very possible, William, that it was the wrong detail on that page of the tracking sheet. Very possible. But as you guys look at Tesla, there's no way this is bearish, right? I know the stock has pulled down for the last 2 days, but we don't call that bearish. Brenda, go on the website. Amelia, could you drop in a link to the power option plays for me? If you would do that. If you just go into, once you log in, you go into the store. It all depends if you go with the quarterly or the monthly. Right? Go under the Trader Talks. Tesla's defying gravity, Linda said. Yeah, right now it sure is. Right? And then power option plays is here. Right? Well, I'm there, so I'll drop it in a million. So it's $6.95 for a quarter. It's $2.95 for a month. Brendan, when you're saying where is the Qs, if you mean in power option plays, we don't trade it any longer. It doesn't make enough money for us. We stopped trading it. SPY, we still trade. We kill it on the SPY, but actually, we're not trading it as power option plays anymore. William said it's what's on the Pop PDF downloads. I think that's, yeah, and you're probably right, William. You're probably right. I got to take a look at that. Rich said you have to watch the video and take notes. Come on, man. I hear you. Rich is basically saying watch the video, take notes. I give you a tracking sheet that's already printed up. It gives you all the details of what to do. And your tracking sheet looks just like that. And there's one other sheet that shows you what's open, what trades we've taken, and all that good stuff. We are doing monthly. I'm pretty sure we're doing a monthly on the E-minis, Linda. I think so. I thought we had it at the same as. Yeah, I thought we had it as at the same as what's in power option plays. Yep. It is. Same cost for the E-minis. Yeah, William said always watch the video. You've got to watch the video, guys. I mean, I understand if you're pressed and you just can't watch it today, you've got the tracking sheet. That's awesome. You know, at least you got something to work with. But if you can, you really need to watch the video. There are nuances in there that I can't write on a tracking sheet. I've got, 140 characters I can fit on that line there. Bullish with a pullback to the 8. I don't have a whole lot of room in there. And it's not a dissertation. I need to make that quick, concise, get in, get out. That's what Rich is talking about, just taking some notes on what you see. It's worth the hour of your time to make 6 figures a year. There you go, Rich. William said, so much good info. Pop made me profitable. So, William, I'm going to ask the question because you said it. How was your trading going before Pop? You were a chicken, and now you're making profits with it. So there you go, because you've got a system that you can rely on. It's been tested. You see it work. You couldn't find good trades. Okay, well, there you go. Robbie said for Pop, new people, you need to practice all the trades for test. Yeah. Oh, guys, I'm going to make it is, listen, I don't sugarcoat anything for anybody. You need 3 months just to get the basics of the system down. There are a bunch of nuances that you need to learn, and you won't until you practice trade them. Nobody should step out there and just start trading this. Unless you've got massive trading experience, practice them first. Practice them first. Perfect practice makes perfect. Cool. Well, guys, wow. It's just amazing how fast the day goes. But give me a couple of stocks to look at. Yep, Charles said, I'm looking forward to the mastermind group because I need to sharpen my day trading skills. And we'll definitely do some on day trading, Charles, but we're really focused on the cash flow type strategies in there. So, but we're definitely going to do some of them. Let's see. William's asking for NVIDIA. Actually, let's go to Trade Navigator. NVIDIA. So NVIDIA is a bearish bias right now. Here, guys. So, guys, would it be okay if I used NVIDIA and showed you an example of what I would do on power option plays in the video? Let's see how much love we can get here at this. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Which, of course, is going to blow away everybody. 1 for yes, 2 for no. That means type it in the chat. That's starting to get better. So I just blew everybody's symbol they want me to look at. I just blew it all off the screen. I can't see them anymore. So, well, we'll get back to it. I'll get them. So right now, I would list out. On NVIDIA. We're going to pretend this is NVIDIA on the top here, right? We'll do it here. All right, here's NVIDIA. My bias is bearish. Right? My bias is bearish on NVIDIA. Okay? Why? Because the moving averages are in that order. Pink moving average overall is bearish. My downside target is, let's see if we need a Fibon in there. 23. So 225. Yeah, we need a Fibon. All right? So let's do this. Let's pull this one out a little bit, and let's apply a Fibon in there. Someday I'll get the right tool figured out. Ever since I changed my channeling tool, I mess it up all the time. All right. So bearish with the pullback to the 8. So I'm sorry. Bearish bias, 130 and 116 are the downside targets, so the bearish targets. So 130/16 is what it will say, right? On the upside, my bullish targets are 156 and 176. Who just alerted? All right. We're good. I'll check that after. 156/76 are my upside targets. So Rob, if we're bearish, why do we need upside targets? Where are you going to get in? You need a rule to help you get in the trade, right? So right now, my note would say bearish with a pullback to the 8x. Stock will pull back to the 8, close near the 8, reverse from there, and we'll take our bearish trade. So what did it say? Close near the 8, take my first exit. 148 is our downside target, right? Would be that first target once we get up there. Because hold on, what do we put for bearish? 149. Yeah. So right now, if we close at 156, right, the next line is 148. But if we keep pushing down from here, our next stopping point is 130, not 148. We're already at the 148. So it all depends where you are on the chart. Your next 2 lines are always your next 2 targets. Okay? So I get the downside target, but how long will it take to go down? Really, Robbie? How long will it take to go down? I mean, I can't even begin to fathom how to answer that question. Yeah, 13 days. Ravi, it's all predicated on what the stock and the market do. But most of the time, my first exit happens within 2 to 3 days. Most times. Not always, most times. So my stop, Rich, on this one, because of the confluence of the 8 and that 155, would be probably about 25% of the way up, would be my stop. My target would be about $1 off of support. Yeah, from now until whenever to never. There you go, Robert. Okay. So where did I get the 16 from? You see that 116 right here, Marcus? I don't write the full number out. If I tried to write 130/116, I am guaranteed, because I am slightly dyslexic, I am guaranteed to invert them. I do it all the time. Ravi, I can't answer you on how many candles up and down. There is no way of telling that. It's impossible, sir. I wish I could. I wish I could tell you it's exactly 3.4 days. There is no way to answer that question though. All right. Anyway, that's how we do it there, guys. So let's see. CRM is the next one. CRM. So let's see. Let me see what that fib is. Oh yeah, we definitely had needed a new Fibonacci in there. So we're going to draw fibs in here. They just had their earnings not long ago. The bias right now is bearish, although it's not true bear. 130 is our next downside target, and then 126 is the target after that. AMD, you got it. Linda, was that you? Hey, Judy, how are you? Let me just go back and see where that came from. Yep, Linda, okay, that was yours. On AMD, I need to pull back to the moving averages. So get up back near that 21 and drop back from there. Bearish bias. So from 21, you're looking at 19 as the downside target. And of course, it looks like we're pretty close to a fibit at that low point there as well. Yeah, Linda said terminology on pop will make sense after you're in it for a couple of weeks. Exactly. Facebook. So Facebook has been bludgeoned, just beaten to the daylights out of it, right? I personally would love to see Facebook hit $100 again. I know some of you are like, I bought it at 200. I get it. I understand. I didn't. So I have no problem with going to 100. I just think that many of these stocks, although Facebook is not overvalued when you look at things like PE, but many of these stocks are way overvalued, and I'm happy to see them go down. Right now, this is a tough one. I would day trade this only 134 and 124 are the downsides, though. Let me just move the page there. Whew. All right. Correct, Charles. We want the close and then the next move. Amen, Judith. I'll say that. How about that? All right. Let's see. Facebook's PE is 18.558 for the year and 41.82 for the 5 year. Robert, I appreciate when you do that for me. So Facebook's got a PE of 18.5 right now, so they're undervalued. I'd still like to see them at 100. I just think that many of these stocks have gotten too big for their bridges. You know, we have definitely seen, where's January right here? We've definitely seen massive losses this year for Facebook. I think it's Zuckerberg's fault the market is falling apart personally, but all right, Linda, I will see you tonight in class. Absolutely. But Linda, before, those of you that are in the E-mini think tank, make sure you go back and review the setup that I sent you last week, that we went over last week. Review it with the YM. Go look at it with the YM, right? So Ed and Trip, and look at it with the YM and see what you're seeing on there. And I appreciate that about my dad. All right, so guys, if you go, I'm going to take you back here into the store. Couple of things. Trading You, guys, has gone to a lifetime access to all of the videos, all of the training that are in there, plus some live stuff that we're going to be doing. If you click on that, you can get information on it. But it's a 3-day event now. There's no way it's 2 days anymore. It's a 3-day live event, right? The day traders clock is up here, guys. If you haven't gotten them, I've got a handful of them left, right? Sean, we've got some new graphics are going to go on there. Sean's got dimensions, the actual picture of it with the frame. It's 14 inches in diameter. It's about 1 inch and 9/16, I think, width. It's a brushed aluminum, actual glass bezel. So if you guys haven't picked this up, great stocking stuffer. 14-inch stocking stuffer, but great stocking stuffer. No, Brendan, not yet. Let's see. William, so my 2-year-old loves the clock. Always comes in and points at it to say clock. Cool. Clock works better than a Rolex. Yeah, there you go. No, you're right. Cool. All right. So, and guys, we will be finalizing. Hopefully, we got a new download from Genesis this Friday. We got it on the new version of Trade Navigator. So we've got to go through, guys. Just so you know, there's about 85 files that we have to go through and confirm everything before we release it. So as we finish that up, we'll get it done. But as soon as that happens, you will all get upgraded immediately to it, and then the price of Trade Nav goes up as well as the upgrade price. So if you haven't taken advantage of it, go ahead and do that. We are going to be putting for those of you that are in the mastermind group, we are going to be posting it on the calendar. So you will actually be able to see where it is set up. You'll know where all of those are, right? So everybody is aware of the dates for all of that. All right. So guys, keep your eyes on what's happening market-wise here today. All right. Boy, we've had a major push to the upside now, haven't we? We're only down 175 right now. So what a massive move up. So, go figure. If we look at the NASDAQ, right, pushing down to that 5584 level, right, and bouncing from there. Look at what's happened ever since we hit it. Send Amelia an email for that, Brenda. We're actually building a brand new members area out for Trade Navigator that's going to have all the video, the training videos are all going to be up there. Everything are all going to be right on site. Cool. So just be cautious, guys. We're getting this bounce. It doesn't mean we're done. Realistically, I'm telling you, I don't think we are done going down. Let me rephrase that. Let me bring up the S&P. Right? That 2584 was the key. The bounce off there was fully expected, right? After hitting that. We broke back up above. Where are we? oops, sorry. 26.21. So we're right back up at the next resistance level. Okay. Which has played a critical role just 3 days ago. We're right back up at that next resistance. Can it sustain and stay back above that downtrend line? Where does it close out today is going to be a big part. That's going to have a big reasoning behind where we may or may not go, what we might or might not do from here, right? Excuse me. So be cautious. We hit the target already on the S&P. Not unheard of this or unexpected to see this kind of bounce. All right, we'll do an update on this real quick before we wrap it up. Okay, so look at that right there. Right below that downtrend line. Where we land will have a big component of importance to it. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that, it looks like we're done. Make sure you take advantage of market alerts, guys, if you haven't. Right? Take advantage of that tool. Go ahead and check out the Trade Navigator. If you haven't done your upgrade already, make sure you get it done. And then, of course, look into the TradingView. All right. With that, you guys have a great rest of your trading day. Thank you, Patty. I appreciate those prayers. God bless everybody, and I will see all of you tonight in E-mini Think Tank. You want to learn the new system? Come and check it out with us, guys. Go ahead and enroll for that 2-week trial, and you'll be good to go. All right, Robert, have a great week. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.